Guys, welcome back to the fourth vlog. This week, we're gonna do something a little bit different. We're gonna look at what it takes to fuel for an Everesting attempt. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna recap on exactly what I ate for last week's Everesting attempt in Sant Julià de Llora. I pronounced that horribly, please forgive me. It is 3:30 a.m. on Friday morning. Gonna show you guys what I'm having for brekkie. First course, 4 bits of sourdough toast with Vegemite, butter, and a coffee. And brekkie begins the slow process of eating early in the morning as I'm not really hungry, but I will get through it because this is what's gonna fuel me for the first portion of the morning. I'm fucking tired. We have the second brekkie. Cornflakes, oats, a whole lot more carbohydrate with a little bit of oat milk. And the second brew. First repeat. You've just seen I've had a big serving of oats and cornflakes, and this is the number I love to see. Glucose sitting at 177, miles above the Supersapiens performance zone, which for me is between 110 and 140. In other words, I am very well fueled. Up we go. A lot of you guys have been asking about a Supersapiens specific video. I'm going to cover that off separately, but what it is worth noting is that the Supersapiens device allows you to measure your blood glucose levels live at any given point in time. Now, your blood glucose levels tell you exactly how well fueled you are. The higher the blood glucose reading, the better in my experience. That being said, you need to note that I'm an 80 kilogram male athlete, and so this strategy will vary depending on your age, weight, and cycling ability. I want you guys to think of your body as a car. If you don't have fuel in the car's not going to be able to drive. Without putting fuel in your system, aka sugar and carbohydrate, your body is not going to perform. Calories are king. They are your friend. I'm giving you guys permission to eat as many calories as you can possibly stuff into your system while you undertake your Everesting. So I break an Everesting up into 4 quarters. And each quarter I'll eat exactly the same thing. This is what it looks like. 3 jelly tubes, 2 muesli style bars, and a gel. This food equates to 180 grams of carbohydrate. On top of that, I'll also have a complete bidon, 950 ml with another 150 grams of carbohydrate, which gives me a total of 330 grams of carbohydrate to last me between 2.5 and 3 hours. Put simply, that is 110 to 130 grams of carbohydrate every single hour. After each quarter, I'll take a short break. This just breaks up the day for me, gives me a little goal within the goal, and gives me an opportunity to eat something a little bit more substantial. First little break of the morning. We are 2,500 meters in, about 3 hours of ride time. Glucose sitting at 112. Time to get some donuts and some coffee in. This spiked the blood glucose, but as you'll see, it also gave me a real sharp drop off in glucose. And this is attributed to what is more commonly known as cafe legs. So I'm on my first repeat back after some food. As you can see, the glucose is sitting at a healthy 163. Very similar to what it was when it started. So those donuts have bumped, well, essentially my available fuel right back up. So I'll continue to fuel for this quarter as I did for the first, before stopping for some lunch at the halfway point and topping it back up again. All right, guys, one thing I want to point out here, you can see my glucose is dropping really fast. I'm at 72. Well, this is my second repeat now after the little break. This is what happens when you have a little bit more complex carbohydrate. Your blood glucose drops. My body is now trying to process everything I've eaten, and so all of the energy in my system is now working to digest what I've eaten. I'll continue to sip on my electrolyte bidon, and this will rise right back up to where I want it. So there we go. We are 3 more repeats deep. The glucose has come back up. I am eating. I am drinking. It is warm, but this is a welcome change. The last 3 weeks have been shit house and wet, and so riding in this sun is a pleasure. Lunchtime, and I am way too hot, so I've taken the jersey off in the singlet to cool down a bit. What have we got? One large bocadillo, some spatties, bit of bravas. The boys normally get this at the office in town, aka Taverna. Sam's just advised me that we have a shushu. What's a shushu, Sam?
Well, this one's pretty big, so it's a little cream-filled croissant, essentially. So enjoy. Yeah.
All the calories right there. Nice little glucose spike there, sitting at 173 after lunch. Bocadillo, bravas, and a couple of Cokes. Going down an absolute treat. We've got a bittern on the bike full of sugar, 5 energy bars in the back pocket. Off we go for the third quarter. At the end of the third quarter, I stop and I have something a little bit more salty to get me through the final little hurdle of the day. This week I had some instant noodles with a little teriyaki sauce and a can of Coke just to boost the blood glucose before kicking off into the afternoon. Now the fourth quarter is where I change things slightly. Instead of having the 2 more savory style bars, throw them out. I will have 5 of these jelly style bars instead because they spike my blood glucose, I find them easier to consume, and I find them more tasty. And the important thing for me is just consuming. And so whatever I can consume easily, I'll pop in the back pockets so that I'm never at the point where I, reach into the back pocket, pull out a bar and think, oh, I don't really feel like eating that. These bad boys are great. They go down really easily. They provide a near instant hit of energy. And just like that, 4 quarters have gone by. You've reached the end of your Everesting and you're in need of a little treat. Go reward yourself with whatever you feel like. This week I fancied an alcohol-free beer. I enjoyed that with my mate Sam. I'm not an alcohol fan. I haven't drunk any alcohol for a long time. That is a story for another video. Now, for dinner, the night after an Everesting, the big thing for me, I keep harping on about it, is calories. I want to replenish my body. I need to perform the following day, and so anything I feel like eating, I will eat. This week was Indian. Heaps of rice, big smack of protein in the form of chicken, some naan bread. After dinner, we got waffles, we got crepes. I feel sick talking about this much food, but you know what? I've burnt a massive amount of energy throughout the day, and actually it's more healthy eating this type of food than not eating anything at all. I go to bed and I am well fueled. I'm not hungry. I don't wake up the following morning craving food. I don't wake up during the night feeling hungry because I've fueled well all throughout the day. One thing it is worth noting is that the day after an Everesting, I am so sick of consuming copious amounts of food that I get a real craving for something clean. I love Asian food. This week we popped down to Barcelona. I had a craving for Vietnamese, and so we had a nice Vietnamese noodle salad. Some different flavors, some different textures, less emphasis on the food today. Again, I piled up yesterday because I needed to, and today is more about eating for enjoyment as opposed to eating for purpose. There you go. That is what I eat for a typical Everesting attempt. Again, I'm an 80 kilogram male athlete. You guys may need to tailor that depending on your age, your weight, and your athletic ability. But this, for me, is the perfect fueling strategy for a long 10 to 12 hour day on the bike. And I hope this has provided you guys with some valuable insight to allow you to perform at a higher level, be that on your next Everesting or your next long ride. I'm out of here. It is Monday. I need some food. I've just done Climb Club this morning, and so I'm gonna go and eat some more rice. Because at the end of the day, you need to remember that carbohydrate is king. Adios.